Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CampaignHer podcast. I'm your host and the only kid without a name vanity license plate on my bike because my parents hate me, Allie Pippin. Guys, today's episode is all about the joys of parenthood, and I just wanted to kick us off and get us in the right mindset by letting you know exactly what kind of mom I am. When Parker was born, Maisie was about 2 years and 10 months old. So dealing with a toddler and a newborn was really, really challenging for me. I'm sure challenging for anyone. And early on in Parker's life, I struggled with breastfeeding. So I needed to start feeding her at one point every 2 hours to try to get my milk supply up and keep her fed and healthy. And it was stressful. Like breastfeeding in general is already stressful. Nursing is stressful. And so, that was just a lot, right? And especially when I was trying to manage Maisie. And so what this means is that like before Parker was even born, I was the kind of mom that always had like activities and playtime and something to keep Maisie busy. And after Parker was born, I was the mom who like swore by screen time. Like when I was in the thick of those like every 2 hours feedings, I would put My Little Pony on TV. I would hand Maisie my phone to play on, and I'd have distraction for like the 30-ish minutes that I needed to have Parker calm and quiet and attached to my titty. So one day, I'm sitting on the couch. I've got the baby on my boob. I'm trying to get the baby on my boob, and Maisie is sitting next to me playing with my phone. And I heard the little like of like the camera shutter on my phone, and I didn't think much of it. Since usually like I'll get my phone back and I'll have like, I don't know, like 100 pictures of the top of Maisie's head because she just, mashes that like rapid fire shutter button, right? And she plays with it, no bait. So I remember like trying to get Parker to latch on and Maisie like trying to show me this picture she took and she's saying it's of Parker and I'm like beyond distracted. And I'm by myself, with a boob in my hand that I'm just kind of mashing like you would mash like a hoagie sandwich, okay? And I'm just not listening, So I get Parker latched on and Maisie's playing like happily and I have an Apple Watch. So anytime I get a text message, I get a little ping so that I remember to look at my phone. And so I got a little text, I got a little notification, and I saw that it was from a friend of mine from high school. And I was like, so random, right? Like, why the heck is this person texting me? And I read the text and it's like, it just says something like, hi, did you like mean to send me that Snapchat? And I was like, what? Because I admittedly am a terrible millennial. I rarely use Snapchat. I'm terrible at it. I don't really like it. I prefer Instagram stories. So like, I know I didn't send anything willingly. And then I remember hearing like, that I had heard my little camera shutter and I realized that the toddler has my phone and I started just like hyperventilating, freaking out. So I'm like holding Parker with one hand, I yanked the phone out of Maisie's hand with the other and sure enough, Snapchat is open. And sure enough, she just sent a snap about 30 seconds earlier when I know I was like in the process of compressing my boob like a hamburger patty, trying to shove it in my newborn's mouth. And I just start to cry because I'm 3 weeks postpartum. What the fuck else am I going to do? And then I realize that Maisie didn't just send this picture to like my one friend from high school. No. She sent it to every single one of my Snapchat contacts between the letters of L and Z. Who is my Snapchat contact, within that range? Let's see. We had some past boyfriends on there. Some old friends from high school, awkward people who thought we were closer than we really were that I used to work with, general old-fashioned workplace proximity associates. Team Snapchat was on that list, like the corporate Snapchat channel. That was really fun. So everyone saw my boob. Everyone saw me, just grabbing my titty like a big old lump of meat. Okay, everyone saw me in a puke-stained nursing top. So I did what any mother would do. I sent a Facebook message to everyone that I was still Facebook friends with on that Snapchat chain. And I just tried to text the others like, hey, long time no see. Please don't open this Snapchat for me. And then I reminded them that thank God for Snapchat. I would know if they screenshotted it. And then after I did that, after I did my damage control, I just sat and cried harder. And at this point I was crying and Maisie was crying and Parker was crying. And I know that like somewhere on the internet, people were just looking at my hamburger patty titty and my dirty postpartum body. And guess what? My lesson, just again, to show you the kind of mother that I am. I let this happen, this horrible incident. And it didn't stop me from allowing them screen time. I meant every 2 hours after that, 2 hours exactly after that moment, I gave Maisie my phone again. And it meant that I just further spoiled my child and got her own screen. Like, that was the lesson that I learned when I talked with my husband that night. I was like, Justin, we need to get Maisie her own iPad. She can't be on my phone anymore. She Snapchatted my titty out to everybody. Because why? Because we're all surviving. And booby picture or not, screens help me nurse my youngest into a calm fashion, and still they parent my child more than I do. And that's on quality PBS Kids content and our children just being too damn fucking smart. So that's the kind of mom I am. We have more conversations about what kind of mom I am, including today is my youngest Parker's birthday. We're very excited to celebrate her birthday. We have a cute little interview-esque segment coming up later, and we'll be right back with more right after this. Welcome back. Today, as I mentioned at the top of the episode, is my daughter, my youngest daughter, Parker's birthday. Parker is my baby. She is a big ball of feisty, sassy, silly, crazy energy. Like, she's the one of my children that can have me just like clenching my teeth with rage, and then immediately giggling like in a split second. And as we've crossed off the days on the calendar to her 5th birthday, I just have to admit that I have been dreading it. 5 just seems like such a huge number, the biggest number. She's turning 5. It feels like only yesterday we were celebrating Maisie's 5th birthday, and now it's Parky's turn. It's too much. And I know that, like, she starts VPK in January. Pretty soon she'll be in kindergarten. Then I'll blink and she's got her nose pierced and she's going to some cool liberal arts college and getting married. And I get very emotional talking about this. Very emotional. I look ahead at both of my girls' lives and I see these big moments ahead. And I realize that as they get bigger and the moments in their lives get bigger, the moments that used to seem big to me just get smaller. Like, I remember when they ate solid foods, when that was big. I remember when they sat up for the first time feeling big. I remember when they walked and when they started talking and the first time they requested a song on the radio. Like, all those moments, all those old big moments are small now. And that's going to be their whole lives. Like, big things becoming small and small things becoming big. Clothes getting smaller, clothes getting bigger. One day they just like walk out of their room in a dress that's halfway up their thigh that you swear you just bought yesterday. Surely, like, my kid didn't grow overnight. Like, the dress got smaller. And then you decide, oh, it's time to size you up. Time to buy a size up. And suddenly you've dressed an infant in a men's XXL. They're swimming in it. Their toys get smaller. Their toys get bigger. It used to be like cleaning their play area used to take me minutes as I just chucked like big stacking cups into a single basket. But now I look out at a carpet minefield of like Barbie shoes and Legos. And no one warned me that as my kids get bigger, their toys get smaller. And these teeny, teeny, tiny toys will multiply until they cover every square inch of my home. I swear nothing makes me madder than those toys. I wake up in the middle of the night, put my foot down on the floor, and I step on a Shopkin or an LOL surprise doll shoe, and a part of me dies. And not only do clothes and toys get bigger and smaller, but the time with them gets bigger, and the time with them gets smaller. They can make a second feel like a millennium in those moments where they're asking 1,000 questions back to back to back to back, or they're just screaming in our ears for no reason. And in the same way, I hold my baby in my arms and I blink and she's 5 years old. And in all this time, my memory is getting bigger and my memory is getting smaller. When the baby is new and you're new too, you remember everything. I remember their first words, their first steps, the first time they pooped in a bathtub. But then one day I woke up and I remember nothing. I couldn't tell you how many weeks how many weeks old they are. I couldn't tell you when freckles first arrived across their nose. I can't tell you what their smile looked like before their teeth started growing in or falling out. And you look at your kids and struggle to remember what they look like when they used to play as a toddler. Like, you ask yourself, did she stick her tongue out when she colored? What did her tiny little voice sound like? And other times you look at them and you see only a baby. And out of that baby's mouth, they're telling you to shut up or asking you where other babies come from. Over time, their needs get bigger and their needs get smaller. When they're little and they need so much of you, you pray for the days they can hold a bottle on their own or sleep through the night. And then you watch them tumble off their bike and you run to shower them in love, and they stand and they brush themselves off and they get back on. And you realize your kids will never want you more than they do today. Every single day they're alive, if we're doing our jobs right, they need us less and less. But you also know that as they get bigger and their problems get bigger, when they do need you, they'll need the most that you've ever given of yourself. They'll need the most of you. They'll need you to give them all you have to love and support and encourage them through this impossible big thing they've never dealt with before. Big, little, big, little. The years of your child's life wash away. When I found out I was going to be a mother, I felt like I was standing on a sandy beach with an entire ocean before me. And now I feel like I look down and my feet had cemented where they first stepped in the sand 8 years ago. But the water is now up to my waist because the tide had rolled in. And over the years, the tide comes in faster and fatter and bigger and stronger. And I know eventually it will ultimately just ebb away. And I'll once again just stand on a sandy shore, dry as a bone, watching the ocean in the distance, waiting for a storm to wash the waves back again to me, but praying that it never happens and never comes. In so many ways, parenthood is the ocean. It's life-sustaining, it pushes and it pulls. It's active all hours of the day, especially at night. It's impossible. It's lovely. No single vessel can hold it. No one person can see every inch of it. None of us have an idea of how deep it goes and what lies at the bottom. The waves of our children grow and they lap at our feet and they crash into us and they knock us down. And we feel like we're drowning in them sometimes. We feel like we sometimes forget how to swim. We watch big waves become small and we watch small waves become big. All the while knowing one day, however soaked we get, if we've done our job right, we'll be dry on the shore on a day that will come far too soon. When I was the new mom, I wish someone had told me that there were days where the waves feel small, when I can snuggle my kids and smell the top of their heads, when I can tuck them in and read a book, when I can feed them vegetables and nurse them to sleep without problems and take them in public and smile all the time. I wish someone had told me that there were days when the waves feel really big, when you're yelling at them and they are climbing on the floor of a Chili's because they won't eat their dinners, where you scream at them at the top of your lungs and not a single one hears you, where you cry in the pantry, shoving fists of M&Ms into your mouth as they search the whole house in tears looking for you. And above anything else, I wish someone had told me that there were days where I'll float too, where my big kids, the 8 and now 5-year-old, asked to be held like babies, to snuggle with me in bed. Days where my child, who's afraid of everything, dances in her first recital. Days where my kids eat all their vegetables and all their dinosaur chicken nuggets. Days where they jump in the ocean into the unknown without a floaty and my heart stops just a second only to see that they realize that they can swim. If parenthood is an ocean of big and small things, being a mom is like being thrown in the middle of it without a life vest. I'm sorry. It's treading water while you fight off sharks of unsolicited advice and you navigate a current that will get you to shore faster than you want. And that at the end of the day, at the end of all of this, I know my skin is going to be sunburned and my fingers are going to be pruny and wrinkled and my hair is going to be salty with the sea. And for days and years and decades later, I'll still feel the waves rock me side to side, rocking myself as I rocked my babies, as someone once rocked me. You want me to prove parenthood is like the ocean? Can you stand still without swaying? Can you stand still without rocking back and forth? Can you? We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back to the CampaignHer podcast. So when I started planning this episode, I really had hoped that since today is Parker's birthday, I would be able to sit down with my sweet 5-year-old and have like a little adorable conversation with her about being her mommy and celebrating the day she was born and how she got her name and all these things. And I did get to sit with Parker. We sat and let the microphone run for about 22 minutes, and it did not turn out great.
What are you doing, phone? Why are you talking that jokes at me? Woof, woof, woof. That means
Dipper saying hi. So in the essence of trying to keep it 100 with all of you, welcome to the very first clip show that we're ever going to do. So like I said, interviewing Parker did not turn out great. Stop doing that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. We got off topic very quickly.
Mommy,
What?
I just saw one of those butterflies.
A butterfly?
No, one of all butterflies.
Oh, because we own the butterflies.
Yeah.
Throughout the interview, she told blatant lies.
Tell your fans I love my mommy and her always dressed beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, make sure that they all know that I dress beautiful and that I'm not right now wearing biker shorts and a dirty t-shirt and I haven't showered and all my hair is on top of her head, okay? Make sure that they know that I'm wearing like a ball gown and jewels and diamonds, okay? She shared some thoughts with me about an iconic Pixar movie, though. I gotta give her credit there.
What is it called again? The one with the mouse. I forgot the name.
The one with the mouse who kicks?
Cooks.
Ratatouille?
Yeah, Ratatouille. No, I would pick it up and let it cook.
You would just pick the mouse up and say, here you go. Let's cut off the middleman here.
Can you please cut this for my two food? Yeah, that, but not the real food. Thank you.
She seemed genuinely confused about the role I play in her life. Because I'm a mommy, right?
Yeah.
Whose mommy am I?
My mommy?
Your mommy? Why'd you say that like a question? I'm your mommy.
Yeah, because you are my mommy.
I am your mommy. We talked a bit about how she got her name. Why do you think we chose the name Parker?
Because it's a cute name.
It is a cute name, but do you want to know the story?
Yeah.
When Mommy and Daddy found out we were having a baby, the very first time when Mommy found out that we were going to have baby Maisie before Maisie was born,
Okay.
Daddy told me that if Maisie was going to be a boy, he wanted his name to be Peter Parker Pippin. Do you know who Peter Parker is? Do you know who that is? It's Spider-Man.
What?
Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so then when we found out we were pregnant with you,
What?
we said if we were going to have a boy, his name would be Peter. But if it was a girl, we would name her Parker. And guess what?
It was a girl.
It was a girl. Your name's Parker. And you have lived up to your Spider-Man name because you climbed on everything and you spat up all the time, which is kind of like your web slinger.
I do like this.
You do like the web slinger thing with your hand too, right? Yeah. I would say the conversation took a turn when she asked where babies came from. And rather than answer, I asked her to tell me.
They come from moms.
We're from moms.
The butts. Butts. They come out of butts.
They come out of butts?
Yeah.
So you came out of my butt?
Yeah.
Do you think that was a fun experience?
No.
It was not a fun experience.
You had to push one more time, but Daddy was sleeping. Then the hospital yelled at Daddy because he was sleeping.
That's right.
But not like when they poop out in toilet.
Okay.
None of that.
Yeah, none of that.
No.
None of that. Okay, well, did you know that when you were born?
What?
When you were born, the doctor told me to push one last time to get you out, and you shot out of me like a hiked football, and the doctor had to recoil and catch you.
What?
It was crazy. stop doing that. She did seem overall concerned for how my experience in labor and delivery was having her.
Does it hurt when your blood is coming out?
Yeah, your blood comes out, your butt comes out, everything comes out. A baby comes out of your butt. It's crazy. And I could tell she remembered details of her birth that I was really surprised to hear.
Yeah, and I was kicking, pushing because I wanted to get out.
You were clawing your way out of me, right? Kicking and screaming just like that.
Like,
yeah. Yeah, you were doing that.
Yeah, you had Maisie watching, screaming at me.
Yep, that's what...
Wait, did that really happen?
Maisie just watching you and screaming at you?
What?
Probably, I don't know. Throughout our entire conversation, there were a lot of reminders about etiquette on the air.
My children watching them.
Parker, you're away from the microphone. No one can hear you. Don't touch that. That's the microphone.
I know.
All people will hear is like... And we did have to take a minute or two to tell some jokes.
What do you call a bear with no teeth?
What? What do you call it?
A gummy bear.
That's a good one.
What do you call a pumpkin when it's not a pumpkin patch?
What do I call a pumpkin that's not in a pumpkin patch?
Yeah.
I give up. What?
A pumpkin patch earring. Like those. What do you call an orange? What is left behind?
An orange that was left behind? I give up. What?
Orange.
An orange left behind is still an orange, huh?
Yeah.
That's a good metaphor for life.
What do you call a rainbow with no green in it?
I don't know. What do you call
A girl rainbow.
a girl rainbow?
What do you call an ice cream with no ice cream on top?
I don't know. What?
Cone left behind.
A cone left behind. I asked her about her future endeavors and what she wanted to be when she grew up.
I want to be a bell. And I want to be a ninja.
Yeah? You want
Ballerina ninja! I'm a big fan of Spider-Man and dinosaurs. I want to have a costume like Spider-Man.
a Spider-Man costume?
And dinosaur costume will go crazy.
Sure.
And I was like, no, it's just me. I'm trying to pick out a pumpkin patch so I can dig it. I want to have 3 babies. 1 boy and 2 girls.
3
I want to have a baby. I want to have twins.
Though she did seem confused about what twins were.
I don't know. Either one is once because you have twins.
I have no twins. No. I have you and I have Maisie.
But those are twins.
No. No.
If twins are girls, that's twins.
No, twins are born at the same time.
Ah!
They're born at the same time. I asked her if she was going to change diapers for her babies one day, and she had this wisdom for all women everywhere.
My boyfriend can do that.
Your boyfriend's going to do that? Okay.
Because I don't have a boyfriend, but I'm going to be one.
Yeah. Is your boyfriend going to have lots of money?
Yes, because
Yeah, honey.
we're going to be rich.
Yeah, marry rich.
Rich!
Be rich, have money. And she had some questionable or brilliant, depending on who you ask, name choices for her future children.
I'll name the boy Jake. I'll name my 2 girls one pumpkin patch and the other one pumpkin.
Pumpkin and pumpkin patch. Yeah. And then I went for the money question. Okay, I was going for the jugular. I asked the big one. Am I a good mommy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What makes me a good mommy?
Being nice to us.
I'm nice to you. What else? Do you know that I love you? Yeah. How do you know that I love you?
Because you love me to the moon and back.
I do love you to the moon and back.
What?
I do. I've been to the moon, and I screamed at the top of the moon, I freaking love Parker!
What?
And then I came back. Yeah.
Okay.
I love Parker and I love Maisie. And then I just flew right back.
This is weird.
You're weird.
What?
I'm kidding. You're so cute. honestly, this whole experience was frustrating, funny, so sweet. It warmed my heart. And I just had to remember and remind myself that she's never going to be this little ever, ever, ever again. And I'm never going to hear her little voice like this, this little sweet, tiny voice ever again. So if you have a chance, if you're bored on a weekend and you just want to let your phone run and record your little conversations with your little ones, with your kiddos. They will make you smile. And all in all, my kid's got, a future in podcasting. She had this perfect sign off from our interview.
I want to tell more jokes.
I think they've had enough.
Okay.
I love you, though.
Bye.
Hey, I love you.
Just say bye.
Oh, no, you tell me you love me. I love you.
Love you.
No, tell me, not the microphone.
I love you.
I love you. I love you, too.
And bye.
We'll be right back. Thank you so much for listening today, for hopefully laughing and crying with me. Sorry that you had to hear me sniffle my nose over the air. Happy birthday to our guest and my baby Parker, 5 years old. We're celebrating today with dinner with our family, and the theme, which she has decided, is Dinosaur Ballerina, because of course it is. You can follow the CampaignHer on Instagram, get the latest and greatest, including opportunities to submit your stories and see pictures from this and past and future episodes. Please continue to support the podcast with sticker purchases available on Etsy. And now, when you purchase 2 or more stickers, we'll give you one for free. Just use coupon code podcast at checkout on Etsy. If you want more stories or more updates, you can visit our blog at CampaignHer.com. Please review and subscribe. Please. I've got about a few weeks left, 4 weeks left to make it into the new and noteworthy segment of Apple Podcasts. And every review, every listen, every rating counts. So please leave a review. Please share with your friends. Have them leave a review. All that fun stuff. Do it for me and do it for Parker, because it's her birthday, damn it. In the meantime, new episodes drop every Thursday. And until then, you're doing great, sweetie. Bye.